India, hi. Sreda, hi as well. Good that you joined. Mel, nice to see you.
Hi, Jana. Jana, right? Sorry.
Right, but I really meanwhile love both ways of expressing it. So they're both my names.
Beautiful, beautiful name.
So 5 past, I would say we start. Thanks to all of you for joining. Today's topic is conscious perception, and actually, since this morning, some questions around that topic are accompanying me, and I would love to discuss them with you. And so, as always, I will pass them over to you for having a common discussion. Maybe I explain the background just a little bit. I'm in a phase where I see a lot of changes on the business side that I'm in. In a certain area of business, there are people that very quickly need to switch from one work to the other in terms of changing the core of their work as employee. I see some people that need to leave companies. So I receive a lot of different situations for people currently, and discuss it with them, or talk about those situations with them. And what I get aware of is that some are very upset, full of fear, see the risk. Others are not happy about the sudden changes, but kind of accepting, more open, see chances in there. And so I found it really interesting to think about, how does this different perception of that life situation, how does that come? People in very similar life situation, job-wise, have a different perception of what is just happening there with them, around them, in their life. And therefore, my question today is, what do you do to consciously see something as a chance instead of as a risk? How can you consciously perceive something as a chance and not as a risk? Or maybe even better to just say, how can you consciously find the chance in something instead of focusing on the risk? Yeah, now I'm there. And I would love to have your thoughts on that. And you can feel free to raise the hand. I will unmute you. You can write something in the chat. Yes, Vindhya, please share with us.
Yes, Jana. Actually, it's the topic you brought up is really good. It's just recently, my friend, she took early retirement from work, and I think it's similar to what you're saying. It's a big change for her. From long time, I've been asking. I mean, she was happy, but she's very dedicated to her work, and she's been focused. And it's 31 years she's worked for the same company, and if she went on for another few more years, she would have gotten the retirement. She would have completed. But it was hard for her. She took this decision right now. She needed to, because I think the COVID time also helped her focus on herself. she had so many other things, like, she sings and she does other things she wanted to pursue and try, and she was never able to do anything like that. She wasn't too happy with the place she was living in, but she needed the money. She continued. So just yesterday she took the retirement. So I'm thinking it took a lot. We were so happy as friends because, then she has more time, we can connect, and she's also doing what she really enjoys. She was worried about the money, the risk is there, but she took the step. Now she's happy, and I told her, I've been reading Surrender Experiment. Things will follow. You just do your passion. I'm sure. So let's see how it works out for her. But she has hope, and she's looking forward to trying out some new things and maybe a business. So I don't have the exact answer for you, but I'm thinking I can see her already happy and free from all these limitations.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Mm-hmm.
thought about that. And I'm
Thank you,
hoping it'll
India.
work out for her.
Yes, me too. Me too. Please say hi to her and all the best.
Yes.
And what I receive in your words is in what you shared was following something that you love. So be aware of something that is yours in the change, whatever it might be. That's what I heard. And please correct me or add. It's just I try to sum up a bit. So find something that you love in there and follow that. Be open to try out just new things that, just as you said. Be grateful for limitations that you see that you can leave behind. So find limit or see the limitations that you can leave behind from that situation. And I think what I also received was, as you said, she did her job for 31 years and was really passionate about that job. Maybe identify with the passion and not with the job itself. That were the things that came up to me.
Yes, Jana, I think you did. But a little more, I was trying to say she was afraid to leave the job until now. She was, because that was her income and she needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, she could have carried on a few more years and gotten the retirement. But there was no joy or happiness. And she just realized because of COVID or whatever, the perspective changed. She just realized she has to use every minute she has in doing what she really likes. And she is taking the risk of losing the right now, but when you're open, there's so many options that come up and you can easily try. Otherwise there was no time for her to try. And so people are afraid of trying to take that step, and I think they live in that fear. And I'm thinking this, like I said, I'll share later on how it turns out, but I personally feel it's a very positive thing. I've seen her for 30 years and she could have done so many other things, but she was stuck. I felt stuck in this job, but let's see how it could turn out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then there also is something in it about being aware of appreciating your time. So using your time or dedicating your time worthy, whatever that means to you. Is that right? In a way that makes sense to you, that how to dedicate the time? Thank you for sharing, India. On the
Thank you.
chat.
Sorry, I lost my sound for a bit there, so I don't know if you asked me something, but
No,
thank you.
all good. Yeah. I just asked whether it's about, as you said, it's about the time. If there is something in that about dedicating your time in a way that feels worthy to you. That
Yes,
might.
and something that you enjoy, right? And I'm sure things will work out for you. And I'm not saying, yes, you have to make sacrifices. You maybe have to accommodate with lesser income or whatever. But when you're happy and you do, the joy you get, I think your life is more fuller
Mm-hmm.
than just because of getting a paycheck, trying to sacrifice everything else.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And as I say, all the best to your friend. I love to hear a story of new beginnings coming from COVID in some ways.
Thank you.
Mal, you unmuted yourself,
Yes,
please.
yes. Taking a chance, if you don't take a chance, then there will be no progress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the same time, if you're taking a chance, it should be something that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
So conviction, you mean?
Yeah,
Is it?
conviction.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking a chance because I want to take a chance. That will not work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It must be something the person want to do. It should come from his heart or her heart. At the same time, when they're taking a chance, they also have to be aware of the risks that could come.
Mm-hmm.
That could come. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
may not happen, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So they are prepared for it. It's not a shock when
Mm-hmm.
it happens,
Mm-hmm.
and they can be prepared for it to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is important as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think taking a chance is very important in life.
Great.
Mm.
So you would say if we want to, let's say there is a change coming in our life, and maybe we're not even able to stop the change, right? We might not have the influence on the change that is coming there. When I hear you right, it is about finding the progress in that change that you can make from there.
Mm.
See how you can combine that chance, that change, with your conviction so that you, whatever you can do in that change, find something that comes from your conviction to make it a chance, and still be aware and accept that there could be risks that come, and that it's also okay that those risks might unfold. It's not what we wish to, but giving it an okay to be part of it takes us maybe the fear of being a failure instead of doing a failure.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Thank you, Mal. That's beautiful. Do you have like just a random, or not a random question, just a question, but if you don't have an answer, that's totally fine. Do you have an example from your life that you would like to share with us, where you took the chance for progress?
Yes, I can say I did.
Mhm.
The chance that I took was really, I was always loved psychology, right?
Mhm.
Psychology. And I did, one of my subjects for my degree was psychology back in India. And I wanted to, then I got married and came to this country. So I didn't progress in that direction. But I always wanted to do counseling psychology.
Mhm.
So, but I, at the same time, I was afraid of going all the way to London. In those days, it was, and every month for 2-3 days, it was a modular course, okay, intensive modular course. And I've never been to any courses in this country. I was still young. I would have been, what, 26, 27? And my children were young, so I postponed it and I postponed it. And when they went to university, I went back. And
Wow.
that's the chance I took.
Mhm.
I said, no, this is something I want to do. Being afraid of it will not help me to progress forward, will not give me the inner satisfaction that I'm doing something for myself. Okay. So I went and did it, and I did my diploma in cognitive behavior therapy.
Wow, that's huge. Thank you so much, Mel. That's
And
amazing.
I worked for the NHS for 15 years.
Wow.
Mm.
Inspiring stories. Thank you, Mel. That's huge. That's really huge.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So what I also heard from Mel saying is that taking a chance does not mean not feeling fear, but the awareness of risk is it's okay that there is also fear, but taking the chance means feel the fear, but do it anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay. And I really love that because it took me a long time where in that within that time I also stopped myself from doing some new things in my life. And it took me some time before I realized there is no courage without fear. If we don't feel fear, if there is nothing we are concerned of, there is no need for courage.
Yeah.
So taking a chance, being courageous does not mean not feeling fear. It just means being aware of the fear and not letting it take over.
Take over. Yeah.
Thank you, Mal. Great. Some comments that came in. I'm just going to read them out because they're a little bit longer even, the one or the other. So Kinari is sharing, if you're adventurous, then it's a chance in everything. Otherwise, risk if you are fearful most of the time. That is interesting, Kinari. And that's where it to me becomes interesting to ask, even as a fearful person, how can you see the chance overweighting the risk? Because I really believe that also a fearful person can turn around the perception and find the chance that they want to go for. So this is a question that comes up from me there. Likit is sharing, I really think risk and chance go hand in hand. Because when you take a chance or a risk, we are always uncertain about what is going to come. But something I guess we can be sure about is that taking a risk or chance really gives us the opportunity to explore and change. Just like Mal said, progress. And Likit further writes on, I feel constant change or improvement is something necessary for us to evolve. In conclusion, I would like to say that every risk we take is a chance for our development. Thank you, Likit. Thank you so much. I really like what you say, and I totally agree that whatever risk we take is a chance for development. So even if we might fail on the outcome we wanted to reach, we nevertheless have developed and therefore not only took a chance but fulfilled the chance for development in any way. And that's a huge insight in itself. And Dr. Rator is writing, she agrees with Likit, and she says if we don't take risk, we wouldn't get the chance to get either experience, wisdom, or success. And yes, I can agree on that. And I would say, much of the way I meanwhile see life, perceive life, have to do with experiences that do not necessarily all come from success. But some of my most important insights about life, and also about myself, definitely also came from failure. Yes. Srida is writing, if we desire something very deeply and we see situations that are in line with it, I think we should go for it without fear and attachment. Otherwise, we may risk losing that opportunity. Srida, that's very interesting that you bring attachment in here. Because I also have this thought that being in fear in the majority of times, or seeing something more as a risk, might come from a scarcity belief system in terms of I'm not enough, or there might not be enough for me. I could lose this, and then I might have too little, and that people who are immediately drawn to see things as a chance come from an abundance belief system, that believe deep down in their subconsciousness that there is enough, that there will be enough, that they are enough, that whatever this chance or this change brings with it will bring in some way abundance and not scarcity. Yes, attachment makes way for fear. That's what Sridhar says. I would say attachment makes way for fear if we come from scarcity. Interesting question whether if we come from abundance, maybe there is no attachment, or at least less attachment, because I think it's very human to also know attachment, let's say like that. But attachment definitely is connected to fear. Likit writes, we definitely learn more from our failures than from our successes. I would say, yeah, I couldn't even say that if it's more, but I would at least agree on it's definitely not less. I don't have an opinion on whether it's more, but it's definitely not less. And it's definitely necessary to also have the learning from failure in a way. And sharing with you is failure becomes less fearful to me or scary to me, since I get way more to the perception that if I fail, it's not me who is a failure, but I failed. So it's more, yes, I made a mistake, I failed, but it's not me who is a failure. That made a difference there for me. Anybody else who would like to share? How can you choose chance over risk? Even though you are a person that is normally going to focus on risk, maybe, or on fear. Because I really find it more than human to be in that stage, to focus on risk or to be fearful when change comes. And how can we nevertheless become the heroes of our story and take chances and see chances? Sridhar again says, if we take failure as an experience, then it makes us happier. Interesting. So you would say, is that what I hear in there, Sridhar, that it's also about being less judgmental and less assessing on the things in our life, whether they are failure or not, and trying to see them more as a general experience?
What I would like to say is one is the attachment. So when the attachment comes, then you start weighing things, whether I become successful or failure. So that's where the failure makes more percentage than the success percentage in the perception. So because our mind tends to think about negative first than the positive. So you get more attached to the negative side of it as a result. Very rarely people go on the positive side of it. So that's where if you remove that attachment part of it, so there are chances that you take it as an experience. It's like, I'm trying this for the first time. Let me see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I will learn something out of it. If you go with that perception, then you would not feel sad about it if you fail also. But if you take it as, oh, I need to be more successful, and then there is attachment to the success, then naturally the negative also will come into picture. But if you are going as a balanced person and take it as an experience, whether it is successful or failure, but I will have an experience, I'll enjoy this experience. It's like saying the journey is most important than the destiny.
Right.
So if you take that way, so you enjoy every bit of what you are doing than looking for the end of it.
Right.
That's what I meant there.
Thank you. Very beautiful. So now would you say what is in there about attachment is not being attached to the to the concrete outcome in terms of you can have an idea of an outcome or a vision, but not being attached on the outcome? Or to
Not
the
being
outcome?
attached to a particular outcome of the process, whether it is failure or success. Don't get too much attached to it, because the destiny is not important, but you need to go there. But it is not so important than the process of enjoying what you are doing. Suppose if I have to reach to a place, and if I'm only thinking about that place, I'll miss out all the beautiful things which are there on the way. So if I start enjoying right from the step one till I reach to the destiny, whichever way I reach, I enjoy the total experience is worthwhile doing it. So if I think that way, so whether it is fail or success, the experience matters more than what the end result is.
Great.
In that case, then I'll have more courage to face the things as an experience than as an end result. Otherwise, even in the second step itself, if I fall, I think it's my failure and then drop and go back. But if I think that there could be up and downs, but I experience all these things with what do you say, as a lesson or something like that, then I will not, my destiny might, my goal might become bigger, because even if I reach the goal, I might not think that I have arrived. I might still think that I'm going. So that makes you more and more successful than getting stuck with some result.
Great. Thank you, Sridhar. What also comes to mind to me is, from what you said, that maybe, for example, let's say your company makes a change for you, saying, okay, you will work on a different job from next month on, and you might not like that type of job. So this is maybe a destiny where your company wants you to go. Then you could focus on the way and ask yourself, what can I enjoy on the way? What is it in the steps within that job that is joyful for me, that makes sense to me, that is of value, instead of focusing on the fact of the complete shift to another destination, which might not be mine in that moment.
Hi, Jana.
Hi.
Yeah, so this is Likit. I just would like to add a bit more to Mr. Sridhar. So we as a society, if not we, most of us at least, have associated failure with a negative expression and success with a positive expression, right? But in a way, I think we have to approach it with a neutral this thing, because both of them are an experience, but all in whole, like, they're very different experiences. Success will make you embrace the process you've done, the hard work you've put into, to appreciate yourself and truly live what you got. But failure will just tell you need to work a little harder. Maybe you should change the ways a bit, basically reflecting in a way. So both of them are experiences in their own way. That's what I would like to say.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for adding on. India, you also raised your hand. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, great discussions here. And I do agree with what Sridhar sir said and what Likit sir just said. Yes, I don't think we should see it as failure or success or anything. And he said rightfully, it's a journey, and see it as an experience. Because unless you do something, the failure or success doesn't happen, right? You have to actually go through it. So your change, which you're talking about, you have to go through it and again, take it as an experience, because it makes you who you are, and that's where you become. You're learning. And if I go back and the way you put it, right, chance and risk, and those are all perspectives, right? How we see it. You see it as risk and you see it as chance. Someone else may see it as something else. So you do follow your heart or whatever it is, do it with passion and take it as an opportunity. Opportunities keep coming. If I go back and look at my life, every change that has happened, that's what we remember, right? Mostly. Otherwise, life is just like same, and I can't it just goes on. But the changes definitely make an impression on us. So I worked like 10 years in a software company. It was just going smooth. Everything was fine, but there was no passion. And then a time came when I had to make a decision. My mother-in-law passed away, and it made me think about my kids and things and what I really have to do. So then I actually thought about and followed my passion of I wanted to connect with kids and work with kids. So I became a teacher. Totally, I changed my profession.
Wow.
And that too, I was just going to teach math because that's what I knew. But then somehow the opportunity came to teach special needs, and I taught, and I learned a lot through that experience. That was not what I started off doing, but I learned. And I felt it again, it made me who I am. Otherwise, nobody knew when I was working in software. I was just working. I was just a job. And now there is something I feel I connect to, and I feel, okay, now it gave me a little more character. And again, after that, I picked up meditation and things like that. And I've been reading books and connecting with people with book clubs. And again, I feel it's making me who I am instead of just going through the flow of life like that. I'm actually consciously making these decisions and following my heart and make. So again, it's the journey experience. I don't know if it is seen as failure or success because maybe I haven't really gotten a job or something like that, but I feel it is building me who I am. So again, I think just saying it differently from what Sridhar said, it is your journey and your experience. So risk and chance are all what you perceive. So what you if you do anything with from heart and have acceptance to it, I think everything seems like a chance or opportunity. And so many opportunities keep coming. I think they're there everywhere. We just don't see it because we don't want to open up to it. That's all.
Vindhya, thank you so much, because I think the way you just expressed it is so powerful, and I'm not aware if you're, or I don't know if you're aware how powerful it is, because to me it was powerful when you said it is building me. It is in a way what Likit expressed, and also what Sridhar expressed, that it's our journey and the journey is what it's about. And when you put it in the words of every change is also building me, it made it even more powerful to me and more concrete. So thank you very much for that expression. I found that really,
Thank
really.
you. I just said it in the flow, but now that you say it makes more sense to me. Thank you.
I really like it. It's an amazing affirmation, actually. Every
Thanks.
change is building me. Every change is building another part of me. Thank you. Kinari, the wonderful bird from Australia, please share with us. Or at least you raise your hand. I can see it here. Do you want to share with us, or was it accidentally that your digital hand is up, Kinari?
Sorry. I just, I forgot one. Yeah. This is something from my personal experience, taking chance. So for me, it was like my totally, I was just, taking chance of my life. So when I got married and when I met with my husband, he was from another community from London, and I was in India and from totally different community. So we had nothing in common. So all my relatives and my, my family and everybody, they were just opposed to this marriage. They said, no, you can't just, marry to someone whom we don't know, who is not from our culture. This is all in India. It is usually happen that, you marry in your culture and then people who you know. So it was just totally no connection between me and my husband. But somehow I had something like, not that I just want to marry this person. Only my mom, she was in just favor of me. Otherwise, nobody was in just, supporting. So, but then I took a chance. So it was like an adventure and or gamble, whatever you say. It was a gamble for me that time. And I got married, and now it's how many years? 19? 19 years of my marriage, successful marriage. And yeah, and I took after sometimes I took my husband back to India and showed him to all my relatives that, we are happily married now, even though I just, took a very big chance. But still, it was my intuition that I want to marry him. And that was right. So sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But it's not like if you are going for a job and if you don't like, you can just leave it and then just get another job. It was the whole life decision. And it was a very, very, very big decision for me to take. But
Definitely.
So it was a very big adventure for me. So I think since then I feel that no, I am very into adventurous person. And I take a chance when my gut feeling is just, telling me to do something, then I just go with it.
Great. So, Kinari, for you, it would also be, would you say that making it a chance instead of a risk, or maybe focusing on the chance, is listening closely to the gut feeling before you make a decision or before you take a choice or a path? How would you say that?
I don't know. When I decided to marry him, it was just like, I just didn't want to think anything. And that is what my family and relatives, they told me, that you are just going blind, just you are taking a risk, a very big risk of your life. And but for me, it was just like, no, just, I was not thinking anything, but I just wanted to marry him. That's it. So that is how, and I thought, because I don't have any, close family or relative or friends here in India, in London. So that was also another point that, if you have any problem by chance, then where will you go? So that was another question. And I don't know, but I just took that chance and I just got married. So it's 19 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's a blind faith, what we say, or blind jump, or whatever the phrase we can use.
A beautiful story. Thank you, Kinari. Really a beautiful story.
Yeah, thank you.
So that added something which is a really good way to maybe round up our so far discussion, because he writes, every experience in our life evolves our soul, and that is our life purpose. So following that logic would mean that no matter whether we take the chance or whether we take the risk, and whether the chance turns out to come true or the risk, our life purpose is fulfilled anyways, if that is the perception one has. Thank you, Srida. That I am actually not 100% sure whether it is easy to follow that conviction, but I really, really like it. And maybe that is also a path, a learning path to grow into that conviction, because it's a really strong one as well. Again, it's building me, it's building my soul, and that is our life purpose. Thank you very much for everyone who added to the conversation, and everyone who's here listened to the conversation. I hope you gained some good insights from, and some inspirational thoughts, ideas, and sometimes it's just a word that sticks with us from a discussion or a sentence. And if something of that comes for you from this discussion, I'd be happy. So thank you very much for that. And now I would love to guide you into meditation. And therefore, I invite you to find your way into a comfortable position. This can be sitting or lying down, whatever feels best to you. When you're sitting, keep the spine upright And open up the chest a little bit more so that your chest can breathe freely. Clasp your hands, lock your fingers. Let them sink down wherever it is right for you, wherever it feels most comfortable. And with the next inhalation, gently close your eye. Bring your attention towards your nostrils now. And take some moments to observe how it feels when you breathe in and how it feels when you breathe out. Just let your breath come and go like it is, and observe how it feels around your nostril. Can you feel the difference? That it feels more chilly with your inhalation and warm and dense with your exhalation? Just bring your attention towards your nostrils and let your breath come and go while you observe the senses at your nostrils. And now I want you to follow your breath with your attention. Follow your in-breath into your body from your nostrils, over the heart area, down to the belly. And follow your exhalation with your attention from your belly up to your heart area until it leaves your body around your nostril. There's nothing else you have to do. Just follow the 3-step journey with your inhalation. Nose, heart, belly. And the 3-step journey with your exhalation from belly over heart area to nose. It all happens by itself. Three steps to inhale. 3 steps to exhale. every inhalation, you soothe your mind. With every exhalation, you soothe your body. And when your mind distracts you, and it will, that's its game. Don't react. Just smile at it. Bring your attention back to the 3 steps of your inhalation and the 3 steps of your exhalation. Nose, heart, belly, belly, heart, nose. And now I want you to find this little gap between the end of your inhalation and the beginning of your exhalation. Follow your inhalation, nose, heart, belly. Get aware of the gap your breath takes before the journey of your exhalation starts with belly, heart, nose. No need to force it. Just take some of the journey loops until you find it, this little gap after the ending of your inhalation and the beginning of your exhalation. Nose, heart, belly, pause. Belly, heart, nose. And when you've found this little gap, float in it. Float in this gap between time, between inhalation and exhalation. This moment where life takes a break or a little pause. Allow yourself to float in the pulse of life. And when you did enough circles, the 3 steps journey, you will find the same pause on the other ending. After the end of your out breath, before the beginning of your next in breath. Nose, heart, belly, float. Belly, heart, nose, float. Just let your breath come and go. Follow the 3 steps in and float. Follow the 3 steps out and float again. No need to stretch your breath. No need to force the gap. Just let your breath come and go. Observe the steps. And at a certain point in all the loops, you find the gaps. Nose, heart, belly, float. Belly, heart, nose, float. Three steps in before you dive into the break of life. 3 steps out before you dive into the break from life. when your mind wanders, simply twinkle at it and silently bring your attention back to the journey into your body, the moment of floating, the journey out of your body again, and the second floating. And now it is time to come back in the presence that surrounds you. Draw your attention towards your arms, your hands. Move your fingers. Stroll through your legs with your attentions, down to your feet, and move your toes. Bring your hands up, unlock your fingers, and put them in front of your closed eyes, just for a moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go through your mouth. Let your breath return to your normal breathing pattern now. And at your own time and your own pace, whenever it feels best to you, gently open your eyes and lower your hands. Thanks to all of you for the beautiful session, or the inspiring session, and the great meditation. Yes, Madhu, please.
Thank you so much, Jana. I was just listening, and each sharing that our friends have shared have a great impact on me, because as we have discussed last time also, there is nothing right or wrong, and it's the same here. There is no risk and there is no chance. It's everything is an experience to learn, and it's a soul lessons, and very wonderful, very wonderful. I'm so happy, Anna. Every week you're bringing these topics, so you are making us, think about it and reflect upon it. So thank you so much, Anna.
A
Very
true
thoughtful.
pleasure. I
Very
enjoy every week with all of you as well, definitely. So thank you for being here. Thank you for making this platform come true, Madhu. And thanks for everybody who joined today.
Thank you, Anna. Beautiful meditation as well. Thank you.
See you all soon. Goodbye.